Good morning. Mark Steelman was the South Carolina High School Player of the Year coming out of Lexington High School in 1985. He won many high school tournaments, including the South Carolina Junior Championship. Mark was heavily recruited by big universities, NCAA universities, including the University of South Carolina right in his backyard. He was from Lexington. He got recruited by programs with big-time budgets, big-time tournament schedules, full-time coaches. Instead of enrolling in one of those universities, in 1986, Mark enrolled at the College of Charleston, a great school, but a university that was not in the NCAA. We were still in the NAIA. Does anybody here remember the NAIA? A few of us do, maybe. We had no history of a great golf program, a good program occasionally. In fact, we started the program back. It had been dropped by the administration in the early 1980s. We started it back in 1985, the great President Harry Lightsey, who volunteered me to be a part-time golf coach. We had no great tournament schedule. We were just starting up a program. We had a part-time coach that was me. Mark turned down those type offers to come to the College of Charleston. The only thing he had was a promise from me that we were going to try to build a golf program here. And he was going to be an integral part of it if he came here. I didn't know that he was going to come here, but I will always be grateful to Mark Steelman for deciding to come to the College of Charleston. Mark signing a scholarship at the college really jump-started the golf program. He alone, his name amongst other South Carolina and Southeastern players, it kind of put us on the map. As a college golfer, Mark was predictably superior to most college players. He had many accomplishments. He won 7 individual tournaments. I think that's still a record at the college. He won the individual championship at our conference tournament both years he played in it, and he was a National All-American both years and Conference Player of the Year both years. His third and fourth years, we actually transitioned into NCAA, so we went into NCAA limbo, so there was no conference to play for, a national tournament to go to, or he would have had more awards and honors. Mark led the team to 2 national NAIA tournaments where we finished in the top 15 both times, and Mark finished in the top 15 as an individual both times. After college, Mark played professionally for a few years before accepting an offer from the college to return to be our first full-time golf coach. Mark also excelled at coaching and led our Cougar teams to the NCAA regional tournaments 3 years consecutively. And 1 year, we made the NCAA national tournament. There are 90 teams that went to the regionals, still do. 30 go to the nationals, so you and the elite of the elite. And we finished tied for 14th at that tournament. That was the best finish in College of Charleston golf team history, I believe. I don't think there's ever been a better one. And unfortunately, we have not made it back to the NCAA tournament again, even though our new coach, Mitch Krilovich, I have full confidence in is going to restore golf glory to the College of Charleston. So keep your eyes on our golf program. Mark is being inducted as a student athlete, but he could easily be inducted as a coach also. The only other person who had a chance to be inducted as a player or a coach would have been me. But when Jerry called me and said I was going to get inducted, first thing I asked him was, is it as a player or a coach? I was hoping he was going to say player, but he said coach. He said my record was not good enough as a player. That really hurt for a while, but anyhow, I was honored to be inducted as a coach. Mark left coaching to start a career in business and is now an executive with the D.R. Horton Company. He and his wife, Lindsay, and their children, Anna, Cole, Grace, and Jude, live in Myrtle Beach. But Mark athletically was superior and talented, but as a person, Mark is just an outstanding person. As a member of the golf team, he followed the rules. He practiced hard. Only time I ever had to work with Mark was when I come up to practice occasionally, and he was practicing practice shots instead of practicing real golf shots. Trick shots, I meant to say. He was a real trick shot artist. Anyhow, he set an example for other golf team members. He was everybody's friend. And a very unique thing about him, to this day, I have never heard him say an unkind word to someone or an unkind word about somebody. He was an encouraging person to other people, including myself and other team members. The person I know him to be today is a dedicated husband, loving father, friend to many people, and a person active in his church and his community. And I am very honored to introduce him today as he is inducted to the College of Charleston Athletic Hall of Fame. Mark. I'll come down.
Wow, never saw this coming. So first of all, I would like to thank you, Daniel, for that introduction, and thank you first and foremost to my family who is here, my wife Lindsay, our 3 children, Grace Marie, Anna Lee, and Jude Christopher. My mother and father are both here, as well as both my brothers, and my sister-in-law, and my mother and father-in-law. So thank you all for being here on this day. About a little over a year ago, I got kind of a surprise phone call from Daniel, just out of the blue. We hadn't talked in a while, and got a surprise phone call, and he did let me know that he was going to be nominating me for the Hall of Fame. And that in itself, I thought was an honor just to be nominated. I didn't have any expectations. I just was thrilled just to know that he thought enough of me to nominate me for this award and for this honor. So for that, Daniel, thank you very much. Time went on, and I kind of, in the back of my mind, I'm always wondering, will it happen? Is it going to happen? And I guess probably about 2 months ago, I got another surprise phone call from Mr. Baker. And when I got his voicemail, I knew there could only be one reason why he was probably calling. So I immediately called him right back while we were trying to put the kids to bed one night. And I said, I got to make this phone call. So I went and called Jerry back on the phone, and he did let me know that, in fact, I had been chosen to be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame class. So again, thank you to everyone involved in that. I greatly appreciate this honor. And Jerry also did let me know, because of my situation where I had really had 2 different, I would call, seasons here. When my first season, I was here as an athlete, and then I came back for a second season as a coach, and had a lot of success in both seasons of my time here at the college. And but Jerry did say I was being inducted as a student athlete, and so I started thinking about what made that program that we helped get going again successful. And I think what it came down to was we were a family. That team, we all lived together. We went to all of our meals together, classes together. We did everything together. And I think that's why we were as successful as we were, because it was a family feeling. We supported each other. Even holidays, we'd spend time at each other's homes. Over summer breaks, you would go spend time with each other. So it was just a very tight-knit group of people. And when you have that, it's very hard not to be successful. So when I did come back as a coach, that was the same atmosphere I tried to create. And I did have, just like we had our golf house here on Wentworth Street, they'd had their own quote golf house that they lived at off of campus, but it was everybody living together. And we had a lot of the same successes. So for that, I thank you, Daniel, for creating that original environment and showing me what to, how to do that. Again, just thank you so much for this honor, and I greatly appreciate everything.